Luis, tu peux pas bouger. Toi, tu as cette application. Et qui vient de se dire, tu peux pas.
That's when the tripod. Mira mucho, te lo doy, no camina papa, pero es como. ¿Quién camina mana? Cái chia cái nó muốn nó gây sốc rồi cái đó. Hah? Saka itamil jua saka chaka pa no mineo. Video kau nak live mana kau pergi kerja? Macam, tu kan tripod, macam kau jero bater. Yo jero bater. Macam. Lopo kama babi. Masha. No, dia.
Kapinda mushoti yangu iwe kapinda mushoti yangu ga kutonyatsenda ko pasi che
our party headquarters Harvest House for this our crucial press conference after the by-elections. Without wasting your time, that much ado, I revert to the president to issue his press statement. Thereafter, questions will follow. Thank you. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I wish to welcome you to this press conference. With me here is the senior leadership of the Mdca. We have our chairperson, Senator Morgan Committee, our Secretary General, Honorable Paulina Pariwa, our Organizing Secretary, Honorable David Chimanikire, as well as our spokesperson, presidential spokesperson. Who is here? Who is there with the people? So we have Honorable Mwonzora with us. Yesterday, the Zimbabwe Election Commission announced the official results in respect of the by-elections that were held on the 26th of March. What is clear from the result of these elections is that the Mdca and the Mdca alliance did not do well in these elections. Obviously, one way or the other, we did not get our act together. We also note that these by-elections were some of the most apathetic in Zimbabwe's post-independence history. It is clear that by not turning up to vote, the majority of the Zimbabwean electorate are communicating a clear message to the political leadership of the country. This message is underpinned by the growing disillusionment of the electorate in elections under the current conditions. However, we wish to congratulate those that have emerged victors in these elections, and we hope that we will be able to work together well in Parliament and in Council. Our collective duty is to the Zimbabwean people first and foremost. As the Mdca alliance, we respect the wishes of the electorate as expressed in these by-elections. What remains very clear to us is the need for serious electoral reforms in this country. As the Mdca team and the Mdca alliance, we are going back to the drawing board as we make serious preparations for 2023 elections. Our party has everything that it needs to win elections. To that end, we have lined up a lot of key meetings of key organs of our party throughout the week. This is meetings of the National Standing Committee, National Executive, National Council of the Mdca, as well as the Principal Forum for the Mdca Alliance. We remain committed to our values of social democracy. We also remain committed to dialogue as a main vehicle to deal with the social, political, and economic problems bedeviling our country, Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President, for the short and precise press statement. Now, members of the 40 states, this is your opportunity. Damba will give you the numbers. I think we'll start 1 to 5, then 1 to 5, and Damba will allocate you the numbers.
Three. Okay, I'll start from the left. This side. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. If I can secure SABC News. You said your party is everything it needs to win an election. Yet the results of the election says your party is nothing in terms of winning. I mean, where are you getting the confidence? What gives you the confidence that you can win any other election when you have failed to win anything in this current election?
He read my mind, but I'll put it right at it. What went wrong? Because in some cases we had one vote, in some cases less than one.
For the benefit of everyone, your name?
Columbus Mafunga, VO18. Sorry.
Columbus?
Columbus Mafunga, VO18.
Number 3.
My name is Tonio. I'm with Checkmate TV. I need to ask Senator Mwonzora, are you going to be reconsidering your strategy, specifically you coming out as the Mdca Alliance, MDCT, going back to the origins of you as an opposition, with working with Advocate Nelson Shamis? Are you going to be having this as part of your considerations so that you work forward as a better party for the people?
That was more friendlier than I thought.
This is the first question. Second is coming.
Oh, thank you very much. The question by Mdca, SABC, what gives us the confidence? What gives us the confidence, number 1, is the behavior, electoral behavior of the Mdc throughout history. The electoral behavior of the Mdc throughout history is cyclical, up, down, up, down, up, down. In 2000, Mdc went it was up. It almost won the majority in parliament. In 2005, it went down. In 2008, it went up. In 2013, it went down. In 2018, in the presidential race, it went up. And in this by-election, it has gone down. And we are confident that it will go up come next election. What is important is that people did not go to vote. The mobilization of people to go and vote did not seem to work, and we are confident that we will be able to mobilize our people to go and vote. So we will be able to come up with the specific strategies that we are going to be using. Mafunga, you asked what went wrong. What went wrong, of course, is that there was too much apathy. We did not redress the issue of apathy. Theoretically, if everybody in the structures of the Mdc had voted in Harare, you are looking at an average of 128 officials per ward, 46, 46, 46. And one way or the other, for one reason or the other, those people did not go and vote. So the greatest problem was apathy. We are also going to be looking at other things like messaging, other things like the particular strategy that we adopted in this very election, which was different from the strategies that we have used traditionally. We thought it was a novel strategy, and I'm sure that when the elections department and the chairman's office, the elections directorate, look at these methods, they will revise them. So the versatility of the Mdc, the never say die attitude of the Mdc, it's very, very good strategic potency, gives us the confidence. We got our strategy wrong, and somebody was saying that how come you got strategies wrong? And here's my answer: Lionel Messi misses a penalty, doesn't he? Maradona misses a penalty, doesn't he? So strategies can get strategies wrong as well. So Tonio, thank you very much, and I'm happy to see you here. The MDC has always said that it is prepared to work with all progressive forces for the total liberation of our people, for the total democratization of Zimbabwe. And we remain open to work with all democratic forces, all progressive forces, and already in the alliance we are working with some and so on. Regarding specifically Advocate Chamisa and his team, a lot depends, of course, on them, on their attitude towards us. There is nothing really personal between myself and Mr. Chamisa as people. There's nothing personal about it. And after all, what is important is not what I think about him or what he thinks about me. What is important is what Zimbabweans do want. And we will wait to see what will happen as we go with this journey towards 2023.
Okay, second round. 1, 2, 3.
Lion Charlie from 360 Returns. Were you satisfied with the conduct of Zeki, considering the allegations that there were discrepancies within the voters roll?
Number 2.
Gibson Yigadzino from the Herald. I think I've got 2 questions here with me, Senator. While you spoke of voter apathy, but it seems in the quest of voter apathy, some other contesting parties, they also managed to salvage seats. So do you not think the failure by the Mdca Alliance or MDCT to retain any single seat in these by-elections is an indictment on your failure to articulate and come to a common ground with your former friends, if I can use that term, who are now the Triple C? Do you not feel this is the greatest indictment on your leadership qualities? The question. Then secondly, last time you said once the by-elections are over, you are going to start the process of dialogue with President Emerson Mnangagwa. Do you still hold that position? Because last time you were saying you want dialogue as soon as possible. What movements have you made so far? Because last time you were saying they are yet to respond to your proposals. Thank you.
Sophia Mapranga, I'm a freelance journalist. My question, President, is yesterday there was a letter that was doing the rounds where your other alliance partners apparently ditched you for over failing to get a single seat. Could you react to that?
Let me start with that because it's you, Sophia. The letter you are talking about was not written by alliance partners. The letter you are talking about was apparently written by Mr. Omani, who is Secretary General of the Zimbabwe People's First. We suspect that the letter is fake because Mr. Omani is not even in the country. We have phoned around and no one seems to know anything about it. And we think that the letter is fake, and we know that for the alliance, there are 2 important organs that sit to make decisions like the one that is being referred to in the letter. We have the liaison committee, which is a committee of all the secretary generals of the alliance. It is a committee that is chaired by us, by Senator Komich. That is chaired, it's Senator Komich. That committee did not sit. And then the committee of the alliance principals is scheduled to sit this week. Those are the 2 committees that can deal with issues like that. So we suspect that it was somebody who is just up to mischief and so on. It's not an official letter at all. Mr. Nyikadzino, the failure of the MDC to get a single seat. Now, failure is failure. Even if we had got 1 seat, or 2 seats, or 3 seats, wouldn't have really mattered. What mattered is that we did not perform well, and because we did not perform well, we must get our act together, and we are sitting down this week, the entire of this week, getting our acts together, looking at what we did not do right. And I am very, very confident that we will come up with a formula, a strategy that will take us to victory. It had nothing to do with our relationship with anybody. After all, our relationship with ZANU-PF, our relationship with the Triple C was irrelevant because we were contesting each other. So even if we were smiling at each other, we were still contesting. We were still going to be vying for the same voters and so on. So our relationship with anyone was irrelevant. Dialogue, yes, we remain committed to dialogue, and we will push dialogue with more vigor. And we are fortified by what happened in this election. That dialogue is really, really important. Remember, there were incidents of violence, politically motivated violence in Epworth, in Gokwe, in Bichkwekwe, where we actually had a loss of life because of the election. We had also incidents where we were not given the green light to hold political meetings in a province where the president was also holding his meetings. And I did raise that in Parliament, in the Senate, and so on. Those are some of the things that need to be looked at. Those are some of the things that need to be sorted out when we do electoral reforms. The reformation of ZEC, yes, ZEC has to be reformed, of course. We need, especially, to deal with the issue of the committees under ZEC. Yes, there's that commission. Yes, there's the secretariat, and we have made sufficient representation regarding the secretariat of ZEC. But we do have underneath ZEC the key committees, the logistics committee, the accreditation committee, etc., which are over-dominated by the executive. And we think that there is need for reform. You will also see, ladies and gentlemen, that the apathy is a cause of concern to us in the opposition. If you look at just as an example, the combined vote of the 9 constituencies won by the opposition, the votes are 128,399. That is the vote scored by the opposition, the combined vote. If you look, sorry, the 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF, sorry, 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF, you have 128,399 according to our calculations. Total number of votes that they were able to secure. The combined vote in 19 constituencies of the won by the opposition is 129,799. Almost the same. And these are 19 seats, and these are 9 seats, and the result, the amount of votes, positive votes, is almost the same. That is a cause of concern to us as the opposition, and obviously that's going to be one of the things that we'll look at when we do our strategic meetings this week. The conduct of ZEC was asked by, I think it was, you're hiding. Well, this is still subject matter to a few internal processes that we are having here. We have had a few candidates who are raising a few issues, and we are going to be looking into that. So we will be able to give you a more comprehensive answer when we have a session with those candidates. There are certain complaints that they are raising, and we haven't verified them yet. But what is important is that the election management body must act fairly, it must act impartially, and so on. And I think the evaluation of ZEC, we will do it in due course. but there is a lot of things that need to be done. I have heard a few complaints that were raised by other political parties. We have no reason to doubt those complaints. Therefore, it is an indictment on ZEC that they must put their head together. But what is important is that there is need for electoral reforms. And these electoral reforms, in our view, will come via a process of dialogue. Without electoral reforms, we will have the same complaints that we had in these by-elections in 2023. We will probably have the same disillusionment by the masses, by the electorate, as displayed in this election. We will probably have the same problems of violence, problems of unfairness, where political activities are banned by the police because another party is having their political meetings. In our case in Mdca, the president was about 300 kilometers away from where we wanted to have our meeting, and we were not allowed to have those meetings and so on. And there's still, the police still has too much power and too much discretion to allow or disallow meetings, and those things need to be subject matter of serious dialogue. We still think that dialogue is the method through which to achieve these electoral reforms. By the way, come next year, we will be having serious issues regarding the diaspora vote. So people in the diaspora must be allowed to vote, and we must push for these electoral reforms. And I think it is time that political parties, especially in the opposition, must forget their differences when we are dealing with these serious issues of reform. These are reforms that are beneficial to Zimbabwe, beneficial to our democracy. Thank you.
I think maybe third and final round. Today, I think you are planning that well. I'll give you a supplementary question later. 1, number 2, and 3, the lady at the back.
My name is Sean Mono, 263 times. Bear with me, I have 3 questions, but it's my only opportunity in this meeting. Firstly, you spoke of apartheid as well as the NDC having lost elections before. But looking at the scale of the loss, where not even a single polling station was won, let alone the whole constituency, the scale of the loss, is it an issue of you redesigning your strategy, or is it an issue of you being rejected by the people? And secondly, there is an issue of NDC alliance legislators in the parliament who on paper are under you, but some of them clearly are loyal to the TPC and any names. Going forward, are you going to have the guts to recall them, looking at what's going on right now? Would you have gumption again to recall more MPs and risk more by-elections, or it has stopped? And lastly, on the issue of dialogue with the President Mnangagwa, again referring to the performance in the current elections, do you think you would have confidence to have dialogue with the Mdca and believe that they have a significant constituency which they represent? Thank you. Looks like I've asked for everything.
You have asked for everyone.
Apparently.
Okay. That leaves
number 2 and then number 3.
Well, you asked the questions that I have.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, okay.
Is that important?
So, okay, number 2.
Okay, I'm Gaddafi with Attention TV and Radio. My question to you is, are you still not ashamed?
One question, number 3. Yeah.
My name is Mr. Mwonzora, you said that the loss of the elections was a result of vote apathy, and that as an opposition party, your messaging did not translate into voters going to vote. So how are you going to change your messaging in the coming elections? What strategies are you going to use so that it's not voter apathy in the 2023 elections?
Okay, Tony, one supplementary question, a short one.
Many though. So just out of interest, Mr. Mwonzora, we need to understand at most, if not some of these polling stations, you actually scored a 0. What does this say about you and your polling agents, that you're actually manning these polling stations where your own polling agents did not even have confidence in you? Number 2, Mdca Alliance or Mdct has been a party for more than 20 years now. When Zimbabweans respond at this magnitude, is this not a major statement to you that you have been rejected by Zimbabweans at polls? Because surely, I don't think you need to change your message. They know your message. You are only taking over from Morgan Tsvangirai. They know what he stands for. Are you not the only person why people are now rejecting you as an opposition Mdca Alliance? Because I don't think you need to change the message, because the people already know your message as far as MDC is concerned. Last but not least, we need to understand why you have recalled 16 councillors recently. What are the actual reasons why you have recalled 16 councillors? And at law, is it still permissible for us to have a next by-election, or there are not going to be any by-elections? Because I know there should be a certain time frame where Zimbabweans are not allowed to have by-elections, especially before a national general election is supposed to be called. So I think those are 3 big ones.
Okay, thank you, Tony, for the very advisory questions. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. The first question I want to deal with is what you call the scale of loss. The scale of loss is defined as the percentage of votes you get out of the votes that have been cast, and so on. Our performance was not good. We have put that behind us. We have looked at what caused that, and we are addressing it. This party is going to find the strategies to deal with whatever problems that we had in this election. And that is why we have lined up the meetings. And I want to tell you that the MDC has the membership, it has the drive, it has the message, it has the commitment to winning elections. We have suffered a temporal setback, and we are going to go to the drawing table and look at these issues in a very honest manner. And when we are done, you will see our message. You will see our performance. It is not time yet to write the political epitaph of the MDC. I know that there are people who wish that we could be politically dead. We are not politically dead. We are politically alive. We are down, yes, but we are not out. And we will rise like a phoenix. And we will, to quote the Bible if I may, we will overtake and recover all. There's a verse like that in the Bible. So it is possible. And we have self-belief. We have enough positive arrogance to come out from this disadvantage. This is nothing. This is past tense. And we are looking forward. And you will see for yourself. Recalling the legislators, that has never been our real intention, to recall people. People have been recalled as a result of their own behavior and so on. And I can't tell whether people are going to be recalled or not. I want to recall people? No, I don't wish to recall people. Do people want to be recalled? They may want to be recalled. It's up to them. It's up to them. Do we have the guts to do anything? We are not afraid of anyone. Do we look like people who are afraid of anyone? I don't think so. Dialogue with Mr. Mdca. When we talked about dialogue, we were very much aware that ZANU had a supermajority in parliament. We were very much aware that President Mnangagwa was the state president anyway. We were very much aware that compared to them, we had less state power. So this dialogue is not predicated upon our possession of state power. The fact that we have less of it is no good reason why we should not take part in dialogue, why we should not ask for dialogue. And I want to quote at this point in time, I want to quote Mdca, I think sometime before, around or before 2007. And Mdca said, we are going to pull Mugabe kicking and screaming towards the negotiating table. And at that point in time, the MDC did not have superior numbers in parliament, and it had not the same state power as ZANU-PF. The same situation obtains. We do not have the same state power as ZANU-PF. Of course, we do have 43 members of parliament. We do control the local authorities and so on. And we are going to push for dialogue because it has worked before. The end of the War of Liberation was Lancaster. It was dialogue, brought independence. The Unity Accord after Bukura Wundi brought something better for our people. After the bloodletting in 2008, we had dialogue and the lives of the Zimbabwean people changed for the better. The fact that we have not done well in these elections does not mean that we will abandon what is in the best interest of the Zimbabwean people. We will continue to champion what is in the best interest of our people. And at this point in time, what is in the best interest of our people is for us to redress their issues, the issues of poverty, unemployment, capital flight, the issues of social security, and so on, service delivery. And if we can acquire those issues, if we can redress those issues through dialogue, we will pursue it. Whether we have more seats in parliament or not, we will pursue that. Heart and soul, you can't keep on asking me the same question over and over again, and so on. Unfortunately, your question does not have enough flesh for me to adequately and intelligently respond to it. So I cannot answer your question because it lacks sufficient particularity in it, and I'm very sorry about that.
It was making that the results that you acquired.
Thank you very much, Mr. Madafi, whatever. Gaddafi. Thank you very much, and my greetings to your editor. Just tell him that I did not answer your question because of the manner in which you asked that question, and repeat the question to him. This is a learning curve. You will learn more about how to ask the questions in order to obtain what you want. And let me say to you, because it is the same question that you asked the last time, rewind to the answer that I gave you last time, and that, Mr. Gaddafi, is your answer. Tonio, thank you very much. The recall of the councillors was not done recently, unfortunately. What has been happening, especially with the Ministry of Local Government, is the delay in the processing of the recall. These recalls were done last year, and they were announced this year. So what you are talking about, actually what you did witness is the announcement of the recall. The recalls were done maybe around September, October last year, and we have actually forgotten about it. Regarding the issues of message, of course, there are two issues of message. There is the message, there is the dissemination. I can't teach you, you are the journalist and you know that. we want our message to get to the people more than it got right now. And we are going to do those things that will make us perform better next time. One thing I want to leave with you is that you cannot write the political epitaph of the MDCT. It is very alive, it is very well, it is kicking, and it is capable of winning elections. And we are working towards winning these elections. This temporary setback is past us, and we have forgotten about that. And we are looking into the future. We are looking into the future with the intention to win the election in the future. We have come from the disadvantage before, and we will come from this disadvantage again now. Thank you very much.
You didn't answer my first question, Mr. President. I asked you, how do you respond to the issue?
The question, the answer you got is my answer to your question. Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you very much for your time. Mdca, how are you? I think maybe the shame comes when you don't touch back.
President.
What
did he say?
I'm not sure.
What did he say? Did he push or what?
Madam, tete hatiboni ngataari chituza vapatika.
So there you are, listeners, coming to you live from Morgan Richard Changirai House, where the MDC Alliance President, Douglous Mwonzora, was addressing the press regards the just ended by-elections